Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I want to basically try something out that I've seen on social media lately. I'm just putting my hair up if you can hear me moving about. I basically have seen this, like I just said, on social media, and I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to give that a go because it would make life quite easy if it was to work well. I'm sorry if you can hear pitter pattering again, but the dog only ever wants to be in this room when I start talking to you, so that is what is happening now. So basically what I've seen, which you probably have too, is you can use your portable sort of LED lamp. Like I've got this one, which I've just accidentally got rid of the little rubbery bit on it, so I'm just going to pop that back around there. So I've got the extends one. Come on, there we go. I've got this one. I'm not going to turn it on because it'll blind you. Obviously it's just one of those LED lights. It is like portable. I've just got it charging at the moment because I don't actually know how charged it is. I haven't used it for a long time. And I'm going to be using that with a stamper head to basically cure like flowers and stuff flat onto a nail. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I'm going to give it a go. I've seen it all like around for a long time now, all over the place, but I just haven't actually got around to doing it. So I'm going to give it a go. So the colours I'm going to be using, it's going to be sort of like a milk bath style nail. We're going to be using flowers and also some cute butterflies that are here. Because I thought it'd be fun to see if it works with shapes and sort of like massive dried flower sort of things. So I'm going to be using these. These ones are from Magpie. I've had them for literally about like nearly 2 years now. So obviously I sold all my Magpie stuff at least a year ago. So it's definitely been a long time. So we're going to be using these. So I'm going to be using these ones, like the larger flowers as well. I'm just going to get them out so it's easier for me to access them when it comes to it. So I'm going to be using the large flowers, and then I'm going to be, like I said, using a few. Oh gosh, I'm really messed about with this one. And then I'm also going to be using a few of the, like these bits as well, like tiny bits. And like I said, also some butterflies. So I'm just getting them out ready, which as you can see is proving really difficult for some reason. I'm struggling to function like a normal human. So we've got 3 of each colour. I'm just going to pop those out of the way, and I'm going to be using sheer pink. So I'm not going to be doing like the milk bath in the typical whites, just because I don't have a milky white, and I know you can mix white and clear and that's all well and good, but I'm basically like, I'm not doing this to like show you how to do milk bath. I already have a how to do milk bath video on my channel. I'm just doing this to basically see whether this plan works, like with the LED light. So I'm going to be using a stamper head as well. This is the smallest one I've got, and it's still much larger than my LED light, which is a bit annoying, but never mind, it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to be using that one, and then we're going to be using, I'm also going to use this 80528 from Blue Sky, which is like Moonlight and Roses, I'm pretty sure is the name for it. And then I've also got some base coat to actually stick the flowers and everything down with. So I'm just going to grab some nails because I don't know how I've managed to forget I need those. So first things first, just quickly off camera, I'm just going to grab a pink colour because sheer pink is really sheer. I'd need like 3 coats of it as a base. I don't want to waste it because it's one of my popular colours. So I'm literally just going to get another pink, apply it to the base of all these nails, and then we can get straight into the video. Okay, so I'm just going to do 3 nails, I think. So we've got like 3 flowers for each nail, and I'm not going to use any of the little faffy bits of the flowers because I just don't have the patience, to be honest. So I've got my I've literally just been charging it, which is why, oh that's horrible noise, why the back's not on it. So I've got this ready. As you can see, it is LED in there. I don't want to turn it on to you like the camera because it might hurt your eyes, but so basically, like I said, this is slightly too big for that, but it's fine. I'm just gonna find a way of holding it. So I'm probably just gonna hold it like quite far down, like here, and I'll hold it like that. Whereas obviously it would be useful if this was a little bit smaller than that or the same size, so you could like put it in. I know Magpie are bringing one out like that, but it is, like I said, I just happen to have this like in my drawer, so I might as well use that instead of forking out lots of money for something I don't really need. So I did totally forget to use Moonlight and Roses. So I'm going to do a coat of that over all 3 nails. It just gives this beautiful like sheen. There is one very, very similar from Gel Perfection that I have got as well, which I've literally just remembered about, but it's not quite the same. Like this is more of like a real subtle sheen, whereas the one from Gel Perfection is a little bit more obvious and slightly more like glittery. So I'm just going to do the other 2 off camera, and then we can come back and do the experiment. So first things first, I'm just making sure that my stamper is really, really clean, because obviously this is going to be touching the whole nail, and if that's dirty then I'm going to transfer all of that onto the nail, which obviously is not ideal. So I'm going to do the first nail first. So here we've got this one, and basically I think the idea is you apply base coat or something like a clear layer of some sort to where you want to apply your flower. I'll put one up here. I don't know if you need that much, whether it's too much, or I have no idea. Obviously this is the first go. So then the idea is you place your flower or whatever it is that you want to apply flat, because obviously flowers, I'll show you in a second. There we go. So you just place that on top of the base coat, and as you can see from a side angle it's raised. So the whole point in this is so you don't have to like slather on the gel after to make sure it's all encapsulated and have a really thick nail. The whole point is you use your LED light through this, so you use this to push it down, and then at the same time this flash cures it, so it keeps it where you've got it. It is really annoying that this is too big, but we're going in and I'm going to try not to get my hair off. Right, so we're going in. Here goes. Let's have a look. So I'm holding it down at the same time as putting pressure on and flash curing all at the same time. It's still not cured though. Maybe take that off real quick and then flash cure like that. See, this is what I don't understand how to avoid, is the excess gel around it, and that's still coming up anyway. Maybe it's because the product that I used underneath was too thin. Let's try again. That's the whole point of an experiment. Oh, I've just ruined my flower. But anyway, the whole point of an experiment is obviously to experiment, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to wipe this off. This base coat. I'm going to get rid of the tacky layer, and I'm going to put a bit of clear builder gel down, I think, instead. So I'm going to wipe this off. Obviously it is slightly cured, so I'm going to go over with a buffing block just to make sure that it is actually off the nail and not going to cause a problem. I just want to make it clear that I literally have like no idea what I'm doing, by the way. Like I've not actually looked into it enough to actually really like pay enough attention to see how people are doing it and how to do it so it works well, sort of thing. So I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you should do this or you should do that, but I like to do these videos like not knowing what I'm doing sort of on purpose, so it's a complete like learning curve sort of thing. I might be putting too much product on, like there could be any reason, but like I said, I've purposely not like researched it because I want to do it as like a first impressions, like sort of blind effort, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get the same flower and just place it on top again. I'm going to do it like that, so it looks like that corner's supposed to be missing. To be fair with you, it could actually be this. It's not very powerful. I've basically used it once. Well, no, I do use it on just one client, but it's definitely seen better days. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if it ever was really powerful because, like I said, I really don't use it very often at all, but let's just give this a go again. So I've got it on, as you can see, and I'm just going to go straight over the top, push it down. I'm not sure whether the light is like penetrating the jelly. It was like obviously just, but I feel like it's not. Okay, that one works better. So I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 10 seconds to flash cure it even further. And then this time I'm going to apply much less gel because you can see all that gel around that, and obviously that's not necessary. So I'm going to apply a lot less this time, she says, and applies a big blob. Just enough to cover underneath the flower, because obviously putting pressure on the flower anyway will make that spread underneath it. I'm going to pick this back up again. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to pop a flower on first. So I'm going to use this flower here. I don't think you can see. No, you can't see. So I'm just going to pop this flower on. And then we'll see if it works using less. So I'm just going straight over and pressing it down. Flattening it at the same time, making sure there's pressure on. Amazing. No, not amazing. It's coming up. See, this one's not totally flat, which obviously must be because I've not put enough product underneath, which is my error, but it's all a learning curve. I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 10 seconds just to give it a slightly more powerful flash cure. I need to put my phone on charge before it dies. And then, actually no, I'm not flash curing that. I'm fully curing those two flowers because I'm going to apply some of the sheer pink over the top of those two for me to put another flower on top of. I don't think I'm going to do the shapes just because it seems a bit overkill for an experiment. Like, I'm just going to stick to the flowers. So while I'm waiting for those, I'm just going to do another one on here. I'm going to do this one here. So I've put like less than the first time, but more than the second time on this one. And then I'm going to get a red flower, place that on top, and then get this in my hand ready. And then again, straight in. Ensure it's all flat. So I'm going to hold it there for at least 10 seconds. I'm just looking at my lamp that's counting down next to me to make sure that I do it for long enough. Just another few seconds and then we'll see how this one turned out. That one's flat and stuck down, so that's perfect. I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 10. Okay, then I'm going to do one more on camera. That corner there is lifting. So to be fair, the amount that I put on the first time seems to be the best, but then like I said, it all spreads everywhere and it doesn't really look the best. So I'm not really sure, as you can see, I'm running out of clear builder gel. So I'm not really sure how to really tackle that. I'm going to put a lot more on this time, like a bigger blob. I mean, for all I know, it might depend on the flowers as well. To be fair, these magpie ones have quite a thick, like middle bit. Like, let me just show you what I mean. Like this bit here is quite raised, whereas it might not be on some other ones. I mean, if you turned it that way, I suppose it'd be easier because it wouldn't be like that. But we'll give it a go. I'm willing to do anything to have a bit of an experiment. So I'm just picking up my light again, and I'm just going to place it straight over the top. I've moved that totally, but never mind. It's difficult to put pressure on the bottom of it because I'm putting pressure on and it's just moving my tip like off the back, but it seems to have stuck down, so that's good. I did accidentally bend one of the petals over, but that's fine. So this one is now out. As you can see, this one has also lifted whilst it's been in the lamp. So I think you do need to apply quite a lot. But as you can see from here, we've got a lot of excess product there now because of that. So not really sure how that works, but there you go. So I'm going in with sheer pink gel polish. I'm just going to put that straight over this nail, like over everything. And then I'm going to pop that into the lamp for a full cure. And now I'm going over this one in the same way. And catching stuff on my sleeves. That's what that noise was. That was my tweezers. To be honest with you, this is far more effort than it is to just like do it the normal way. Like, it just seems a bit much, to be honest. Usually I'd apply like a thicker base, a thicker base, like a rubber base or a coat of clear builder gel. Like, I'm going to do my usual way on this nail. So I'd usually just go in with a coat of clear builder gel, like quite a thick one. She says. Can't even do a thick one because there's hardly any gel in this bottle. So I'd place that like everywhere I needed it. I didn't need it over the whole nail. I don't know why I did that, but I'm not wiping it off now. I'm clearly running low anyway. Currently waiting for an order from Gel Perfection. I'm just going to apply that. And then usually you could just pick up one of them. Place it wherever you want it. Obviously it'd be easier on a hand because you can put pressure on stuff and it's not quite so like much of a juggling act because your client would just keep the hand where you need it. But I'd usually just like put it on, get my tweezers to hold it down as much as I can, and then flash cure it. Just like the same sort of thing, but obviously without the need for the stamper and everything. But like I said, it's much easier on an actual person than one of these really annoying display tips. Because it's just popping up, which is very annoying. But you get the gist. Like, I'm not going to finish off this nail because I really don't have the patience. I mean, it was sort of starting to stick, but it was also flash going everywhere else that I didn't need it. So let's just step away from that nail. So these two have now got a coat of sheer pink on the top, which is looking really bizarre at the moment. And then I'm just going to get my clear builder gel again. I suppose it would depend a lot on the product you're using, like not just the actual like gel product, but also the flowers themselves, like the light that you've got. Like, literally, I think a lot would go into the success of this plan. But at the moment, I'm not loving it. I mean, I'm probably doing it wrong, so I'm not saying like I don't like it, like specifically. I'm not like coming out and saying like this is a terrible idea sort of thing. I mean, look at that. Like, that's never going to lie flat on a nail, is it? Let's get rid of that. I've now got a hole in the middle. Do you know what? I'm going with it. I don't care. I'm going to have this one between those two. And then I'm going to get my light again through the stamper. And what I'm saying is I obviously need to look more into it to be able to be successful at this, because at the moment it just seems like a lot of faff for not a lot of payoff. But we'll go with it, it's fine. I like to try things anyway, and anything's an excuse to get a video, so never mind. So that one's actually gone quite well. Just give it another couple of seconds, and then I'm going to pop that one in the lamp. And to be fair, like I just said, it's usually easier, like in general, to apply things like this to a person. So that might be another thing that is playing a part as well. Is that I'm doing it on display tips, which is making it slightly more difficult. I'm going to pop this one here, not in the gap at the bottom, just because I can actually put pressure on this area, whereas I can't with the gap. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't really care how the nail looks. It was more just like a way of being able to test out. So I'm going to do this one upside down, because I did one upside down on the other hand, on the other nail. I'm picking this up again, straight on the top. I'm definitely going to watch more video. Well, I'm going to watch some videos, not in general. I've just passed them like in reels and stuff on Instagram. I've not actually watched anyone do it properly or anything. So I'm going to look into it, because I don't want to give up before I even started. Not that I use things like this all that often anyway, but it's just this outer bit that I'm a bit confused by. Like, how do you stop that? Because I can't seem to use less, because that doesn't work either, so I'm not sure. But to be fair, that actually looks quite cute without this horrible thing. So I'm going to pop that in for 60 seconds. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this with a coat of builder gel. Let's turn that off now. I'm going to go over this with a... no, I'm not going to go over it with a coat of builder gel. I'm going to do a coat of rubber base. and then I'm going to do like a thick layer of rubber base and a thick layer of top of like super gloss, sorry, which is the rubber top coat from Gel Perfection. And I'm going to see how it looks, because the whole point of me doing this video is like I thought it'd be easier, because I know a lot of gel nail techs or just people that do their own gels at home do stay away from things like this, like the flowers and the shapes and big chunky glitters and stuff like that, for the sake of like it just being so much effort to like encapsulate and stuff. If you don't do builder gel and you just do your normal gel polishes, I'm trying to see if it's going to be suitable for those people. At the moment I'm thinking no, but I'm giving it a go anyway. So I don't really want to involve a lot of builder gel. I know I have because it's underneath the flowers, but I feel like popping a little bit on for underneath your flowers and then actually using it to build an apex and stuff to encapsulate with after are two very different things basically. So yeah, I'm gonna see if we can get away with just a thick base and a thick top layer, bit of filing, and then another top coat, and see if we can just get away with just doing that, which would then still class as like a normal gel polish manicure because there's nothing excessive going on. So I'm going to pop those two in for 60 seconds. I'm going to do the top coat off camera. I'm just going to apply it in the exact same way as I have with the base coat. And then I'm going to give it a quick file and buff at the end to see if we can get it nice and smooth without taking the flowers off. The only filing I'm actually going to do is just around the outside basically, like to shape them, because obviously we've got bits sticking out all over the place. And I might just give it a quick buff with a white block, which isn't really a good idea, because to be honest, these white buffing blocks are just the absolute bane of my life. I don't really understand why they exist. The only time you should really use one of them is like on a natural nail to make it look like shiny. Like if you're just leaving it as it is, like it shouldn't, obviously I can't speak for every brand, but typically shouldn't really be used for like prep because they're just too smooth. There is probably brands out there that recommend it, and obviously if they do then you should do that, but the ones that I've always used, like any that I've used over the years, have not recommended to use such a smooth grit to prep with basically. So just giving them a file around the edges just to see what they look like with just that. They definitely need more than that, because look at the state of this now. I mean, to be fair, this is the good one of the two. But that red one is really raised. Well, not really raised, but is raised. And then we've got this bit here as well, which is just randomly sticking up. So I'm going to use my file to get that bit. I think I'm just going to get my file light and just go over all of it, just really gently. Like I'm not taking off anything. I'm literally just like smoothing it out. I'm not trying to remove any areas. Definitely don't want to get too file friendly and then like file off a flower or something, because that'll just obviously be a waste of time. I want to see if it is possible to use this method with just your typical gel manicure, not having to like overlay with builder gel and all that jazz. So that's that. I'm going to use the white block now just to smooth it out, see how it turns out. And then the final top coat, I'm not going to use like a thick one or anything like that. I'm just going to use a normal no wipe top coat. But I'll do that once I finish the other nail. So I'm going to do the same with this one. First, just focusing on the shape, because this one's actually worse. Like you can see up here. No, you can't. Now you can. Now you can see up here that there's overhang everywhere. I mean, there's all this here that'll need filing off. But look how thick this nail. Well, it's not thick to be fair, but like you can definitely tell where the flowers are raised, especially this bit. That's quite high, especially for a gel polish nail. So I'm just go over that. See if we can get it down without like going right through to the flower. Don't want to go too crazy. Obviously don't really need to do the bottom. I'm just going to roughen it up a bit so it matches everywhere else. Work on the shape a little bit. get it all as smooth as I can around the side walls. Obviously the cuticle area, like, it doesn't look like a real cuticle because there's not any skin attached. It would be even worse to have all that up that area on a person, but it's alright, it's not a person. And I'm just going to go over, I'm not going over really rough, by the way, like, I'm quite gentle, like, I'm just letting the file sort of do the work for me. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on or anything. Just letting the natural grit of the file do its thing, and then I'm just going to give them a good buff. Obviously I've only ended up with 2 nails, but never mind. That's the sacrifice you make. So I'm just going to get these back so I can top coat. I'm really stuck down. Now if you think about it, like, even if you can do it this way and they turn out okay, like, it's still quite a few layers for just a casual gel manicure. Like, so if you are a nail tech, obviously you'd have to charge more for it because of all the layers and everything. But if you're doing it from home, like, just bear in mind it is still like a lot of effort. I'm going to use the Tears Beauty top coat. So let's see how it's turned out. Obviously there'll be scratches because I've not, like, completely buffed it smooth. I just want to know in terms of, like, thickness and everything how it's going to turn out. Gosh, I definitely didn't need that much. I didn't realise how much was on my brush then. So to be fair, when you look at this from all angles, now it's had a bit of a file, it doesn't look too bad. The red is still slightly raised, but it's not, like, too obvious, if that makes sense. Like, it's not, I don't know, like, it's a nice transition into the, like, the thicker area. Like, this bit is still quite high, but it's not terrible to be able to, obviously it's going to be higher anyway. Like, you've, at the end of the day, like, you've got something on your nail that is thicker than just the gel polish, so it's not strange for it to be more raised. I'm not saying that, but I think it would just be better to just, like, the technique itself, I actually think has turned out quite nice. That actually looks quite pretty, I think. And you can't see, like, when I was complaining about, like, all the extra bits overflowing and stuff, you can't see that at the end. So actually, that was my only, like, problem with this process, and that turned out to not be a problem. So overall, I actually am quite happy with it, which is a surprise because halfway through this video I was hating it. Not hating, it's a bit strong, but I wasn't really particularly a fan of the process. But yeah, I think it turned out okay. I think it would be easier if you had, like, especially, I think my problem as well is because this has all this gap between the light and the end. I think if that wasn't there, it would have been a lot less, like, faffing around, and the light obviously would have been a lot closer to the stamper itself, which may have made a difference as well, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's my verdict. So let's just wait till these are finished and then I'll show you what they both look like. So I actually think they turned out really cute. I'm not sure whether that's attached or not, that little black dot. I think it's like underneath the top coat, which is annoying. There you go. So yeah, I actually really like how they turned out. They look really cute. Was a bit of a faff, as you could see, but obviously there's lots of factors into that, which I did just explain. But overall, I think they turned out really nice, and it wasn't a difficult process. It was just a bit of faffing about, especially at the end of the having to file anyway. I feel like it would just be easy to just encapsulate with builder gel. But yeah, I really like how they turned out. Let me know what you think and if you've tried this method or not. And I'll be back really soon with another video. Bye!